Good morning. Welcome to Atheist Church. This week we will be talking about morality. I discussed this topic with a friend of mine who's a minister at a large local church. This church has a giant cross made out of gold as their symbol. You can see it from the freeway. I don't know if anyone inside the building is aware of the irony of a large cross made out of gold as a symbol for a Christian church, but I digress. My friend was quite sincerely amazed that I am a fairly moral person, given the fact that I have no religion. He told me that before becoming a Christian, he would have just as soon walked over a dying man on the street as to stop and help that man. Wow. So I sat listening to my friend confess that he was a sociopath, and I thought, well, I guess I'm glad that the sociopath found religion, but it's in much the same way that I'm glad when a heroin addict finds methadone. Unfortunately, the heroin addicts are never trying to share their methadone with me, but the God addicts always are. So where does someone, who for whatever reason seems to have been born without any kind of inane sense of right or wrong, turn for moral guidance? Well, Alex de Tocqueville asked that question when he wrote Democracy in America. This fledgling country was a huge experiment in secular government. That's right, that's what we were originally seen as, an experiment in secular government. What de Tocqueville came across was something he called enlightened self-interest. That is the concept that doing the right thing for your society and for those around you actually benefits you in the long run. Not interfering with their ability to pursue happiness means they're less likely to interfere with yours. Avoiding the conflicts and the wars that will keep your progeny from living on gives you some sort of immortality at least, and lets us all be a lot happier. Yes, I'm talking about selfishness. But remember the enlightened part, that's important. Long-term selfishness, enlightened self-interest. Let me break it down and simplify it though for my preacher friend. What I'm saying is, if you're walking down the street and you see a dying man, do stop and help him. But not because God's going to give you a coupon for a free ice cream cone in heaven. Do it because he may have an attractive daughter. No, just kidding. Do it because it's the right thing to do. The fact is, these old guidebooks are out of date with our morality anyway. Yes, even your morality if you're one of the people that subscribes to these books. The books say nothing about email etiquette. They certainly don't say how to conduct yourself on YouTube, and some people on these pages can certainly use that. Look at the comment section of some of my videos. These books have nothing to say about robot sex. I mean, come on, this is a pressing issue. Personally, I have my own opinions about robot sex, but I'll share those at another time. Slavery was a big issue. I wish the Bible would have said a little bit more about it. Might have made things easier. People on both sides of the issue had quotes that seemed to justify it. And the fact is, there is a guide to how to treat your slave properly in the Bible, but nowhere in there does it say that slavery should be abhorrent. Of course it is to us now. The Bible hardly touches on racism at all. And it would seem that a lot of people's Christian morality is out of step with the Bible in other ways. The Bible, for instance, is hardly concerned with homosexuality. It spends a lot more time extolling the virtues of socialism. Yes, socialism, particularly when Jesus comes on the scene. There's bits in there about it being harder for a rich man to enter heaven than for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. There's some overturning of tables. There's all kinds of great stuff. But there's very little about being mean to homosexuals and not letting them get married. Funny. Now, if I made a religion and it had a moral guide and a promise of an afterlife, what would my moral guide be? What would you do in order to get the big reward in heaven? Well, for me it would all come down to one thing. Did you piss on the seat? I mean, one can do the right thing for the wrong reasons. You might buy the Prius because you know that there are cute girls that will only give it up to a guy who's driving an energy-efficient car. Or you might fight for the environment, not because you're worried about the polar bears and the human inhabitants of the planet, but because there's that cute hippie guy that you just want to find a way to get in touch with. You want to try to lure him into your current model year Prius. I suggest that it's what you do when there is nobody around that really matters. You go into that bathroom stall, and there you are, all alone. And the way you act reflects your real moral makeup. No hope of reward, no fear of punishment. It is at this crucial moment that your true self shows. And here's my guide to morality based on the piss on the seat doctrine. Piss on the seat? Burn in hell. Lift the seat, heaven awaits. Actually wipe the rim underneath the seat of any drops that accidentally missed their target. You get heaven with lots of sex and chocolate chip cookies and no STDs or calories to worry about. Good for you. Wipe the seat of the mess made on it by the guy before you, even though you yourself don't have to do any sit-down business. Wow, you get to rule your own small city-state in heaven populated only by angels. And I mean the Victoria's Secret angels, not the little fat ones on the Valentine's Day cards. Although in heaven the Victoria's Secret angels will have a little bit more meat on their bodies. And yes, I know that angels are supposed to be sexless. I think that Victoria's Secret models are as well. Doesn't mean that you can't still have a good time. And what about women? They don't have to worry about pissing on the seat as much. Well, I think they would be judged by just how much shit they give me over whether or not I put the seat down when I'm done. I mean, ladies, just be glad that I lifted it in the first place. Come on, I'm a good, considerate guy. And dear viewers, you should know that on the other side of the camera is my wife, giving me a very dirty look right now. So a world of considerate, seat-lifting, drip-wiping citizens would be a good, happy place, I'm sure of it. And that's it for this week. I'd like to hear from you about what you might like to see in future weeks. Please hit the comment section. I do still have some performance videos that are being edited. I know I keep promising they're taking a little bit longer. Hopefully those will be up soon. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time.